Probably fairly unscientific survey of 5 of the big video chains, and on the special program we're going to review some of the movies that they claim are reaching cult status.
One example of a movie that has achieved cult video status, we're told, is Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange, made in 1971, 4 years before Rocky Horror. Kubrick's film, and I think it's one of his greatest, is a mind-bending journey into the ultra-violent near future, anticipating a punk revolution where violent kids run wild in the streets, and in this scene, in their own private clubs. Malcolm McDowell plays the music-loving leader of the pack.
And it was like, for a moment, oh my brothers, some great bird had flown into the milk bar, and I felt all the melanky little hairs on my plot standing endwise, and the shivers crawling up like slow melanky lizards, and then down again, because I knew what she sang. It was a bit from The Glorious Ninth by Ludwig van.
What happens in this film is McDowell is captured by the police and treated with visual shock therapy, seeing a whole bunch of violent images, sort of like what we go through, Roger, when we see the Friday the 13th series. And the result is a pacified, dehumanized Malcolm McDowell. Now, is this what we want as a society? Is this the future we're going to get, whether we want it or not? A Clockwork Orange deals with those individual versus society issues, and it does so with unforgettable images. In fact, and I think this is key, there's some of the same punk images that we see today.
You know, I looked at the film again on video only last night, and one of the most amazing things to me was the opening sequence where Malcolm McDowell and his friends are running wild through the city with their clubs, beating up on people and things, and I was reminded of the opening shots of Sid and Nancy, the punk rock movie that came out this year, in which the Sex Pistols, Sid Vicious, is doing exactly the same thing. Another thing I felt last night, you know, when this movie came out, I had a lot of reservations about it.
I know you did.
Based upon the fact that I felt it had all head and no heart. And I still feel that way about the film, that this is a cerebral exercise, not an emotional exercise, but the sad thing is, in the last 15 years, violence in our society has become so pervasive, so much more so even than in 1971, that by now, I was able, in looking at the film, or maybe because I'm older, I was able to share some of Kubrick's own detachment more than the first time I saw it.
This is a visionary film. It can be viewed as simply a cool thing, a punk thing, but I think that the power of this film for adults to rent is that it is visionary and as current as it was in 1971.
And of course, nobody ever questioned Kubrick's filmmaking. He's a great director.